Are you students? I hope you are well. I am also well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Thanks a lot to Almighty Allah that He keeps me safe and sound from COVID-19 coronavirus. However, dear students, welcome to my online class. I am Sazed Bhuiya, assistant teacher in English, Pollobi Majidul Islam Model High School, Pollobi Mirpur, Dhaka. Dear students, today I am going to discuss from English first paper for class 10. Dear students, listen to the following topics carefully. Have you ever visited any island or seen any island on TV? Have you ever heard of a coral island? Is there any coral island in Bangladesh? Dear learners, images, you say, what does the image indicate? Are these islands beautiful? These islands belong to one of the most beautiful countries in the world. This country is a famous tourist destination. Unfortunately, this is the lowest country in the world. This country is under threat of submerging due to global warming. The power of tsunami made a great destruction here. This country is in Asia. Dear learners, here is the flag. This is the flag of this country. Now learners, can you guess what is the name of this country? Oh yes. Undoubtedly, the name of the country is Maldives. So dear learners, from your gaze and imagination, today our topic is Maldives, Unit 6, Lesson 3. Learning outcomes. End of the lesson, the students will be able to describe and understand the text, infer meaning from the text, choose the best answers from the alternatives, fill in the gaps, finally ask and answer questions. Learners, the images. The Republic of Maldives is an island country in the Indian Ocean. It has 799 islands that are clustered into 26 or atolls. Atoll is a ring-shaped coral reef, a string of closely spaced coral islands. Learners, images, Atomasit. The natural coral reefs of the Maldives are surrounded by the sea all around and stand out as a pearl in the Indian Ocean. Dear learners, the images. Here is the map of the world. Here indicate our continent, Asia. The Maldives stand at 8th smallest country in the world with an area of only 300 square kilometers. It is the smallest Asian country in terms of population and size. Learners, here are another images. Who have been living on the island of the Maldives for nearly 3,000 years. They set sail from different parts of the world, Asia, Arabia, Europe, and America, to come to these islands. The earliest settlers of the Maldives were probably from southern India and Sri Lanka, who came to these islands 4th and 5th centuries BC. Dear learners, images that image indicates that 12th century. In the 12th century AD, sailors from East Africa and Arab countries into the Maldives. As a result, the Maldivians were originally Buddhists, were converted to Sunni Islam in the mid 12th century. In 1344, Ibn Battuta, a famous Arab historian and scholar, traveled around the Maldives. Learners, image indicates 6th century. In the 16th century, the Portuguese conquered the Maldives and ruled the country for 15 years. Learners, here is another image. Although governed as an independent Islamic sultanate for most of its history from 1153 to 1968, the Maldives was a British colony from 1887 to 1965. Dear learners, here are other images. Following independence from Britain in 1965, the Sultanate continued to operate for another 3 years. On November 11, 1968, the Sultanate was abolished and replaced by a republic, and the country assumed its present name. Dear learners, here are another images. Maldives is famous as a tourist destination because of its enjoyable weather, heavenly beaches and lagoons, luxurious holiday resorts, peace-loving people. Dear learners, image here, the Maldives was ranked as the best country for beautiful beaches and facilities in 2008. Dear learners, here are another images. Maldives is well known for being the lowest country in the world. Unfortunately, this is one country with ideally natural beauty is under threat from rising sea levels due to global warming. Most of the country is just 1.5 meters sea level with a highest point of 2.3 meters. Learners, here are another images. Many predictions have been made with respect to Maldives being swept away by the rising water level in the Indian Ocean. When the power of tsunami of 2004 hit the island nation, many of the island's dry parts were flooded by the sea water. The government of the Maldives has begun to purchase land from nearby countries for resetting its case the islands go under water. Dear learners, images the beauty of the Maldives, the excellent. Here are another images. Read them carefully, dear learners, in order to highlight the threats of global warming to its lying islands. Government of Maldives held a cabinet meeting underwater in 2009. That was the first ever underwater cabinet meeting in the world. The meeting took place about 5 meters underwater in a blue-green lagoon on a small island. While underwater, the cabinet signed a document calling on all nations to cut their carbon emissions. The learners, there is a grammar focus, use of the before a place. Learners, usually the word the does not sit before the name of any country. For example, Bangladesh is our motherland. Here we don't need to use the before Bangladesh. Significant geographical area such as the sits before Deccan, southern part of ancient India, Punjab. For example, the Deccan and the Punjab were under the Mughal rule. Again, we use the before archipelago, a cluster of islands. For example, the Maldives, the Solomon Islands, the Andamans, etc. That is why this sits before Maldives. Few words, dear learners. Here are some new words here. Let us try to know the meaning of the new words. Here, new word emission means discharge fees. The word lagoon means pool or pond. Another new word abolish means terminate or eradicate. Another new word cluster means bunch or clump. Another new word atoll means isle or reef. Another new word string means chain or cord. Another new word settler means colonizer. Another new word colony means territory or possession. Another new word assume means assume. Another new word coral reef means coral reefs are underwater structures made from calcium carbonate segregated by coral. Another new word rank means grade. Another new word idyllic means peaceful. Another new word prediction means prophecy. Another new word threat means intimidation. Another new word cabinet means administration or authority. After the text, after the new words or vocabulary, now dear learners, let us go through the classes. Students, take your book and open unit 6 lesson 3 and try to read the text. Here I am reading the text, listen to me attentively. and I think it will be helpful for you to understand the text. It will also helpful for you to write different types of questions and its answers. I am reading, dear learners. The Republic of Maldives is an island country in the Indian Ocean. It has 1199 islands, 6 or atolls. An atoll is a ring-shaped coral reef, a string of closely spaced coral islands. The natural coral reefs, the Maldives, are surrounded by the sea all around and stand out as a pearl in the Indian Ocean. The Maldives is the 8th smallest country in the world with an area of only 300 square miles. The smallest Asian country in terms of population and size. We have been living on the islands of the Maldives for nearly 3,000 years. They set sail from different parts of the world, Asia, Arabia, Europe, and America, to come to these islands. The earliest settlers of the Maldives were probably from southern India and Sri Lanka, who came to these islands in the 4th and 5th centuries BC. In the 12th century AD, sailors from East Africa and Arab countries came to the Maldives. As a result, the Maldivians, who were originally Buddhists, were converted into Islam in the mid-12th century. In 1344, Ibn Battuta, a famous Arab historian and scholar, traveled around the Maldives. In the 16th century, the Portuguese conquered the Maldives, ruled the country for 15 years, earned as an independent Islamic sultanate for most of its history from 1153 to 1968. The Maldives was a British colony from 1887 to 1965. Following independence from Britain in 1965, the Sultanate continued to operate for another 3 years. On November 11, 1968, the Sultanate was replaced by a republic, and the country assumed its present name. The Maldives is famous as a tourist destination because of its pleasant weather, heavenly beaches, lagoons, luxurious holiday resorts, loving people. The Maldives was ranked as the best country for beautiful beaches, facilities in 2008. The Maldives is well known for being the lowest country in the world. Unfortunately, this small country is really natural beauty is under threat from rising sea levels, global warming. Most of the country is just 1.5 meters sea level, with the highest point of 2.3 meters. The predictions have been made with respect to Maldives being swept away by the rising water level in the Indian Ocean. When the power tsunami of 2004 hit the island nation, many of the island's dry parts were flooded by the sea water. The government of Maldives has begun to purchase land from nearby countries for resettling its islands underwater. In order to highlight the threats of global warming to its low-lying islands, the government of Maldives held a cabinet meeting underwater in 2009. That was the first underwater cabinet meeting in the world. The meeting took place about 5 meters underwater in a blue-green lagoon. On a small island, while underwater, the cabinet signed a document calling on all nations to cut their carbon emissions. Students, the text, I am going to evaluate you through group work. So please be ready. Learners belong to group A. You have to choose the best answers, alternatives. And the question is, number A, there are dash islands in Maldives from A26, from 2 1199, option 336, option 4 1299. Question number B, there are dash or atolls in Maldives from A26, option 2 3000, option 3 1199, option 4 1299. Question number C, the total area of Maldives is dash square kilometers, option 1 300, option 2 3000, option 3 30,000, option 4 3 lakh. Question number D, the cabinet meeting took place about dash underwater, option 1 35 meters, option 2 25 meters, 3 15 meters, option 4 5 meters. Number E, the Maldives is the smallest country in the world, option 1 8th, option 2 7th, option 3 9th, option 4 10th. Dear learners belong to group A, check your answers. Simple answer is number A for 2 1199, question number B for 126, C for 1 300, question number D for 4 5 meters, question number E for 1 8. Learners belong to group B, you have to fill in the gaps with words. And the question is, Maldives is well gave a dash for being the lowest country in the world, but the country is under gave B dash from rising sea levels, C dash global warming. To highlight the gave D dash of global warming, the government of Maldives held a gave E dash underwater in 2009. Learners come to group B, check your answers. Possible answer is A for known, gap B for threat, gap C for due to, gap D for threats, gap E for cabinet. Learners belong to group C, you have to answer the questions below. Dear learners, question and try to answer it. What is an atoll? Oh yes, an atoll is a ring-shaped coral or reef, a string of closely spaced coral islands. Very much. Here is another question. How many countries in the world are smaller than the Maldives size? Yes, there are 7 countries in the world smaller than the Maldives. Well done. Here is another question. What makes the Maldives an ideal place for tourists? Yes, it's enjoyable weather, heavenly beaches and lagoons, luxurious resorts, loving people make the Maldives an ideal place for the tourists. Well done. Learners belong to group D. You have also to answer the questions below. Here the question is, when was Islam introduced in the Maldives? Oh yes, Islam was introduced in Maldives in the mid 12th century AD. Very good. Here is another question. What dangers of climate change might affect the Maldives? Yes, Hazards of climate change which might affect the Maldives: rising of the sea level and floods caused by it, which will sweep the islands. The Indian Ocean. Very good. Here is another question. What could be the reason for holding a cabinet meeting underwater? Oh yes, reason that could be for holding such a meeting is to make people of the world concerned about the effect of global warming. Very good. Dear students, after evaluation, I am going to give you homework. So, dear learners, please be ready with your writing materials, pen and papers, and write down the following questions and then try to answer them carefully. Dear learners, the questions are: question number 1, where is the Maldives situated in the world? Question number 2, what makes the Maldives an ideal place for tourists? 3, when was island introduced in the Maldives? Question number 4, what dangers of climate change might affect the Maldives? Question number 5, where did the primitive settlers come from? Dear students, thank you very much for joining with me. I will take up any other class on any other day. Till then, stay home and stay safe from COVID-19 coronavirus. Dear students, this is all for today. See you next time. Allah Hafiz.